Our next algebra lesson is called Polynomials Subtraction. Our goal for this lesson, obviously, is to practice subtracting like terms. Look at your vocabulary word. To subtract a term, add its opposite is called subtraction. This lesson will focus on subtraction of polynomials. You will also learn to simplify expressions involving mixed addition and subtraction, as well as how to remove polynomials from grouping symbols. The fundamental idea of this section, however, is that subtraction is really a form of addition. Subtraction of polynomials can always be restated as adding the opposite polynomial. In algebra, we have defined subtraction as a minus b equals a plus the opposite of b. Whenever there's a minus before a letter, we don't say negative b, we say the opposite of b. So in order to subtract, you must add its opposite. The opposite is also called the additive inverse. Remember, the answer in subtraction is called the difference. Okay. Well, let's do a few of these examples. Let's look at the first example. 5 minus 2 equals 5 plus negative 2. And we know that 5 minus 2 is 3. That's nothing new. If we have 5a, let's put a variable after these. 5a minus 2a equals 5a plus negative 2a equals 5 plus negative 2a equals 3a. Since these both have the same variable, we took it out. Okay, by the distribution property. Okay. And we just put the numbers here all multiplied by a, and we still came up with 3a. 5 minus 2 is 3, times a is 3a. And don't worry if you don't get that right off the bat. We'll talk about it. Let's talk about the commutative property. We've talked about the commutative property before. Commutative, the first two letters are CO, so it means you can change the order. The key idea to remember is subtraction is not commutative and must be set up to handle the signs correctly. Okay? The commutative property only works for addition and multiplication. It does not work for subtraction. Look at your vocabulary word. An operation having the same result, whatever the order of the operands, addition is commutative, subtraction is not. It's called the commutative operation. Okay, for example, a plus b let's say 3 plus 2 equals b plus a equals 2 plus 3. 3 plus 2 is 5. 2 plus 3 is 5, so that is true. Now let's put minus. Let's see if subtraction is. Let's put 3 minus 2 equals 2 minus 3. 3 minus 2 is 1. 2 minus 3, my larger number is 3, and it's negative. 3 minus 2 is 1. 1 does not equal negative 1, so that is false. Okay? So subtraction is not commutative. You cannot change the order. Okay? Okay, study the following examples. Find the difference of A and B. Difference means minus. We leave A and B in the same order of A and B. So it means A minus B. From A, take B. Okay, here's A, and then it says take B. So that's A minus B. Take A from B. Okay, take A from what? Take A from B. So that is B minus A. Find A less B. A less means minus B. So that would be A minus B. Find A less than B. Okay. If A is less than B, that means B is more. Find A less than B. Reduce A by B. Reduce A by B. So reduce is minus A by B. Okay. Find A diminished by B. A diminished by B. Okay, just make sure you keep reviewing those words that we put in your notes. Okay, multiple operations. Sum expressions will involve both addition and subtraction. To simplify, you should first convert any subtraction to additions, then collect and combine like terms. Okay. Let's look at the first example. We have 3x squared plus 2x minus 5x squared plus 4x minus 3x plus 7x squared. Let me make sure I wrote that down correctly, because lately I've been... Okay, that's correct. It says to change it to addition. I don't think that's necessary. You just have to make sure you take the sign with it. Let's underline everything that's alike. Here's x squared. Here's an x squared. Here's an x squared. Make sure you underline the sign. Here's an x squared. Okay? Three minus 5. My signs are different, so I subtract and use the sign of the larger number, which is 5. So my answer is going to be negative. So these two is negative. 5 minus 3 is 2. Keep my sign, x squared. Now I have plus 7x. Okay. Minus 2 plus 7. My signs are different. My larger number is 7, so my answer is going to be plus. 7 minus 2 is 5. So 5x squared. So I'm going to cross those out. Now all three of these are like terms. They all end in x. So I can add them. 2 plus 4 is 6. 6 minus 3 is 3. So plus 3x. Okay, this is the same thing we've been doing. Okay, go to number 1. Let's look at our problems. Okay, what's the answer to number 1? Okay, you should know this. 9k minus 7k. 9 minus 7 is 2. Have to keep my k there. 2k. Okay? This isn't anything different. It's the same thing we've been doing. Okay, look at number 3. What would number 3 be? What happens when I have two negatives beside each other? They change to plus. Minus 9 plus 7. My signs are different. I subtract and use the sign of the larger number. My larger number is 9, so my answer is negative. 9 minus 7 is 2. Negative 2k. Okay. Try number 5. Try number 5 and then compare it with mine. Okay, these are like terms. Two negatives beside each other. I change them to plus. Okay, so 1 plus 2 is 3, xy. Did you get that right? I hope so. Go to number 7. You can scroll down to the bottom of the page if you need to. Okay, from 4k, take 7k. So from 4k, take as minus 7k. It doesn't want you to solve it. It just wants the equation. Okay? So that's all you had to do. You didn't have to subtract that. This is the answer it wants. It wants 4k minus 7k. Alright? Number 9. From 15 ABC, find 15 ABC less ABC. Find 15 ABC, take as minus ABC. How are we doing? Are we getting this okay? Okay, go to number 11. Do number 11 and check it with mine. Okay, it says find negative 7t less negative 5u. You should have got find negative 7t, less means minus, excuse me, negative 5u. My two negatives turn to plus, which would be negative 7t plus 5u. Did you get that? Let's look at number 13. Go ahead and do number 13. Stop the tape and do number 13 and then check it with mine, okay? Okay, how did you do? Let's check and see how we did. First, we have two negatives beside each other, so they turn to plus. All of them are like terms, so let's do them. 4 plus 2 is 6d. 6d minus 3d. My larger number is 6 and it's positive, so my answer is positive. 6 minus 3 is 3d. 3d plus d. 3 plus 1 is 4d. Alright, let's go to the last one. Combine like terms and simplify. Okay, do number 15 and then check it with mine. Go ahead and stop the tape. Okay, let's see how we did. First of all, I'm going to underline all the like terms. Here's AB, this is AB, that's AB. Make sure when you underline the sign before it as well, because the sign goes with that term. Okay? Now let's add them. 1 minus 5. My larger number is 5, so my answer is going to be negative. 5 minus 1 is 4. Don't forget your variables. Okay. Now I have these two. My signs are the same, so I'm going to keep my sign. 4 plus 3 is 7, AB. Did you do okay so far? Okay. Now these two are like terms. They both end in C. So I have 6 minus 10. My signs are different, so I look at my larger number. It's negative, so my answer is going to be negative. 10 minus 6 is 4. C, which would be the third choice. Alright, go ahead and review this lesson and finish the problems.